For a closer look at the New York primary and what it means for the race to the White House, I'm joined by Jason Boxt. He is an expert in public opinion research and a managing director of the Global Park Group that's here in Washington, D.C. We know who won, no real surprises, but how does this change the contours of this race, do you think?
Well, that's a great question. On the Republican side, it doesn't really change anything. Trump still has a clear path to the nomination. He started sounding presidential all of a sudden last night, and I think he's already looking forward to the delegate fight on the floor of the convention in Cleveland. The Democratic side, and full transparency, I've worked in Democratic politics for a long time. It's clear to everyone from the outside that this is it's her nomination. The question is whether or not Bernie Sanders and his campaign, what kind of a race are they going to run now? Are they going to continue to run as a presidential candidate, or is he going to run more of an issue campaign and try to move this, to preserve this movement that he's created?
Is there pressure, though, that can be applied? I mean, the President of the United States is a Democrat.
Sure.
There's probably a lot of leadership probably wanting to say to him, kind of tone it down, because it's gotten pretty personal of late. Is that going to start to happen, do you think?
Well, if you've watched any of the campaign, you know he is a bit immune to outside pressures of what to do and not to do. But even within his own campaign, there seems to be a divide. There are some who say we really should think about, do we want to tear down the only nominee who's actually going to affect some of the changes that we want to see, or do we really want to go at this and win? And if we lose, we burn it all down. They're in Vermont right now talking about that, and I think we're all anxiously waiting to see who wins that fight. Interestingly
enough, the Washington Post and the LA Times did stories today about Donald Trump, the strategist, which we've never seen before, and now he has a different staff in place.
Right.
You were talking about how he's starting to try and sound more presidential. There's going to be these policy speeches. Talk to me about the shift in dynamics with the Trump campaign.
Well, he's a bit of a chameleon, isn't he? He can pretty much be whatever he wants to be at whatever day or hour it is. I think for a lot of us, that's the real question and concern. Is Donald Trump the guy who called everyone the names and who really threw firebombs? Can he turn around and credibly present himself as a moderate candidate? Ted Cruz is actually out there right now trying to say that Ted Cruz is like Bernie Sanders, like Hillary Clinton is like Donald Trump. So he is going to slot into that position, or at least he's going to try to.
And Donald Trump saying last night that Cruz is mathematically eliminated.
The voice of reason.
But obviously this is a message he wants to start to really drill down on. I mean, what does he have to do to get to the convention and actually have the delegate number where he needs to be? Because that's going to be a critical piece of this.
Sure. Well, delegate math is such a strange animal. Most people say that you have to get 1,237 delegates to actually get past the post. If he goes to Cleveland with anywhere north of 1,100, it's going to be really hard for the Republican Party to deny him that nomination. And so there is a path for him to get to 1,237. It would be hard, but in a winner-take-all primary, which is what most of these Republican primaries are, he does stand the possibility he actually could do that. But he needs to sound more reasonable. He's going to start reaching out to people. He was just in Indiana today talking to the governor of Indiana. He needs to sound more statesman-like, and I think that's what you'll see over the next coming weeks.
Talk to me about the tone of this campaign, because up till now it's lying Ted Cruz and all of that sort of thing. Do we see more attacks from Trump at Clinton and Clinton at Trump? I mean, are we starting to see a solid, this guy's running and she's going to be running against him in the fall?
Well, you definitely saw the beginnings last night of a pivot toward the general election. Donald Trump has fire, and he's going to spew it at somebody. So if he's not doing it at Ted Cruz because he doesn't consider him a threat, then he's going to do it to Hillary Clinton. They both want to position themselves as general election candidates. These are the presumptive nominees, and I think you'll see the campaign begin to look like that, which could look a bit scorched earth as you get the Republican and the Democrat talking about each other.
Yeah, the fighting hasn't ended, that's for sure.
Not
Jason,
at all.
thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.